Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode.
Well, hello, this is Kimberly Brock, and for over 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. So now I'm on a mission to help other new business owners just like you make money doing what you love too. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started.
Well, hello, this is Kimberly. It's episode 176, and I'm so glad that you are here today because we're talking about when things feel heavy in your business and what you do about it. We're going to talk about this because so many new business owners and even veteran business owners keep going when things feel heavy and hard and just live in that misery. And I don't want you to do that. So if you are new, you're welcome. I'm so glad that you found this podcast. I have no doubt that it's going to help you along your business journey, whether you're just dreaming of starting a business, maybe you're starting now, or you're growing a new business. You are in the right place. I'm so happy you are here. If you're new, I want you to get plugged in really quick. If you scroll down right now, if you're an Apple Podcasts or whatever player you're listening to this in, if you go down to the show notes, you're going to see there's some links for you if you're new. Okay. So I have a free Facebook group called Women Starting Businesses Doing What We Love. Come in there, get plugged in. It's free. It's a community of women who are super supportive and kind, and you can post random questions that you have about your business or get feedback or whatever it is. Everyone in there is courageously turning their passions and skills and God-given gifts into a business too. So we all get each other, right? If you're new, I've got some free downloads for you too, like a 16-step checklist. And if you're in the idea stage and you're like, I don't even know what kind of business in general I'm meant to start, how do I wrangle all of these thoughts that I have? Then make sure you grab my free ikigai guide, and you can read about it below and just snag that right now and get it and print out the guide and use it. It'll be super helpful. And if you've been listening a while, thank you so much to all my loyal listeners. Y'all are so awesome. I want to give a shout out to all my Grow Getters and Just Getting Started group members. Y'all are amazing and working so hard. And I'm just in awe of you. I really am. All the steps that you're taking, all the hard work you're putting in, and everything so that you can create impact with your business. And I just love it. And I'm so glad that you've been listening and you're a loyal listener. And if you are today, I want to ask you a favor. If you've been listening a while and you've found value in this podcast, would you be so kind to leave a review? All you have to do is scroll down right now, hit the 5-star rating, like you can see there in Apple Podcasts, to give it a rating. And if you have 30 seconds to leave a written review, it would mean the world to me. And I can't help but think that it tells Apple and Spotify and all the players that this podcast is valuable, and to show it to more people, because the more people that listen, the more people will realize that they too can build a business doing what they love. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, everyone. How are you doing? How is everything going? I'm dying to hear. So you better be posting on my posts in the Facebook group because we have those weekly posts like the imperfect action on Mondays, things that you're doing, thankful thoughts on Thursdays. So if you're hearing this the day this podcast is released, it's released on a Thursday, go check in the Facebook group today because it gives you pause just for a minute to think about things that you're thankful for, whether it be for your business or even just personally, right? Something that you're thankful for. I think it's so good for our souls when we take moments out of our day to just be grateful, That's why I have that weekly post, because I want you to have those moments of gratefulness, because I know that it will change you when you do that. So today I'm talking about your business, and maybe if you're just dreaming of starting one or you're right in the middle of starting, things can feel heavy. And I want to talk about that today, about when things are feeling heavy on you, do you just let it remain heavy and like get heavier and heavier? I mean, imagine like strapping a rock to your back and then another rock or even a boulder, and how much weight that is on you and what that does to you. It makes me think of my daughter's backpack at school, my one that's in 8th grade. Y'all, she has to bring all of her books to school when she goes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and she works at home on Tuesday and Thursday. And her backpack is so heavy. I'm like, this should be illegal. These kids are going to have back problems. Number one, they're going to have neck problems from looking at their phones their whole life. But now they're going to have back problems. I'm like, do they really need to bring these every time? I guess they do. Maybe next year in 9th grade, they'll have lockers and she won't have to bring them home so much. Who knows? But anyways, I know what that weight can do on you, right? And you know it. You know it right now if something is feeling heavy in your business. So today I want you to think about it. What is feeling heavy? And have you even realized that something feels heavy? Because I think sometimes we ignore the heaviness. We just keep going. It's like lower back pain. Anyone have that? I've had it for years. I'm talking like 7 or 8 years, and I've had cortisone shots and all that stuff. Now I just live with it and I keep going. But in the beginning, I was trying every single thing. I'm actually doing some acupuncture coming up. So I'm excited about that because we don't have to live with the pain, right? But I want you today to stop and reflect and think about your business, whatever stage you're in, starting, planning, growing, or even if you're just dreaming. Something may feel heavy about it. I want you to think about that and bring it to the front of your mind right now. So think through. I feel like I'm leading you on a meditation or something. I've never done that. I've never officially meditated. But anyways, I want you to think about what it is that feels heavy. First, I guess, ask yourself, do I feel heavy? Do I feel like anything is heavy? No, not because you just had Mexican food or you just ate a big meal, okay? No, I'm talking about something in your life feel heavy on you. And most specifically, when it comes to your business, is something weighing on you about your business? I want you to bring it to the front of your mind today because I want you to face it. I want you to look at it. I want you to do something about it. I don't want you to be like those other struggling business owners who let the heaviness fester and grow and get worse and just keep letting it go until it just makes you pass out. It makes you collapse. It makes you not even want to run your business. And I don't want that to happen to you. And the truth is, it's going to happen to you. And you're like, what? Isn't this podcast supposed to be positive? We're not supposed to be talking about things that are like negative. No, I'm being real. There will be times in the lifespan of your business where things feel heavy. And it is up to you as the business owner to confront it and do something about it. So today, think about what it is that feels heavy in your business. Like, just really think, what is it? I'm going to go through some scenarios that I've seen other struggling new business owners deal with heaviness and just give you some food for thought on what you can do about those, because I don't want you walking around like that, okay? Okay, so the first one is it the steps? Like, are you trying to set up something, like maybe figure out your business idea or working on the plan for your business or the steps that you're taking? Are you, setting up your website, figuring out a logo? Like, is it actual steps that are weighing you down? Like, are you feeling stuck and heavy in something that you're actually having to do to prepare your business for something, right? Maybe it's for open, or just prepare it for, maybe you have a new product or a new service or a new way you're offering something. Does it feel heavy? And if it does, I want you to know that there's help for you. Number one, you can hire help for graphic design, for website setup, whatever it may be. Maybe you're trying to put together a product offering. You can hire a teenager, a niece, a nephew, a neighbor to help you with stuff like that. You'll have to realize that there's people you can hire. You can go on Fiverr, Fiverr. Have y'all ever heard of Fiverr? You can hire workers. You can go on Etsy and buy logos. Like, there are things that you can do right now to stop the pain that you're experiencing trying to do something. If something is taking you a lot of time, if you are super frustrated about it, if you're having a lot of angst and worry, you find yourself thinking about it at other times a day when you're not working on your business, and you're like, I need to do that, I just don't even know what to do. Know that there are ways to get help. There are hourly people that help. There are freelancers that help. You can go online. You can post in our Women Starting Businesses Facebook group for help, for stuff like that. Now, if you are just feeling a little overwhelmed and confused about all the steps for starting your business and planning, or maybe even in the idea stage, know that I have available workshops for you. Okay? The reason I created them was for this exact reason. People get stuck in them. And I thought, oh my gosh, they need help. They need help figuring out their business idea. If you need help, like if it's been heavy on you, like I want to start a business, but I just can't figure out the right business idea, take my Best Business Idea Workshop. It will help you map out your strengths and your skills and all that good stuff. But then also go through different ways that you can actually make money with your business. And then also ways to validate your idea, like narrow down and then validate and pick the best one that gives you the best chance of a business that you'll love and you can actually make money at, okay? So know that that's available. I have a business plan workshop. If you're here right now and you're like, I've got an idea, I just don't even know, like, how do I start planning this? I have a mini business plan workshop. No, it's not an 859,000 page business plan like you think of. It's a super fun and simple business plan that helps you map out all the aspects of your business and what this would really look like. And it's so fun because you get the vision out of your head and you get it onto paper and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what my dream would actually look like as a business. We all need to have a plan, right? And if you are struggling with steps, like all the steps that you need to take, everything that you need to be doing, all the, foundations that you need to have in place, and then kind of have a plan with checklists and have everything simplified for you, yet strategic so that you're set up for years of success doing this, then get in my Just Getting Started group right now, because you can get in today. It's $7 a month. You get access to everything. Plus, the great thing is we have a private Facebook group in there. You can get feedback on anything you're doing, naming, URL names, how your website's looking. I do live coaching every other week. We do live Q&A calls where I answer your questions. So it's super helpful. And my point is not because I'm like trying to sell you on my stuff, but I'm trying to tell you that there's help that's available right now. If you feel like things are heavy in your business, when it comes to all the pieces that you're putting together and figuring everything out, you can hire. As I said, you can ask in our free Facebook group. You have lots of resources. Don't waller in your misery if you're struggling with steps. When there's people that can help you, you can outsource it, you can get someone to do the work, or you can get in my groups that are going to help you get this done now and not struggle any longer. Because the last thing you need is more weight on your shoulders when you've got everything else that you're worrying about in your life, whether it's kids, spouses, being a caretaker, a full-time job, a part-time job, everything that you're doing, right? You've got a lot on your plate. You're the exact person that I made these programs for. Okay, so don't just sit around and complain that this is hard to figure out your idea or plan your business or start. Like, don't do that. Don't let the weight of that turn you into a jaded, grumpy person when there's help. Okay? Okay. Number 2, are you feeling heavy about what you're offering? Now, this is one where I've had people start businesses and they realize a little bit into it that they don't actually love it. Now, I think you can totally have a successful business without doing something you love. But the reason a lot of you are here is because it is already something that you love. You've had a hobby or a skill, or you've had years of experience doing something and you feel really called to offer it, whatever it is, anything small to anything big to anything just that brings a smile on people's faces to actually something that changes their life. It doesn't matter. You feel called to it and it's super important, right? I want you to think about it. If it's your offer today, why does your offer feel heavy? Why does the product or service feel heavy? Is it because you don't love it? Is it because you don't feel like it's really impactful? Does it feel heavy because nobody's buying it? Maybe you've opened and nobody's buying yet. Does it feel heavy because of that? I want you to confront that today. What feels heavy about what you're offering? Okay, is it not the price? Is it too hard to manage? And I really want you to work through this in your head and identify exactly what it is. So you don't just walk around as a grumpy business owner, but you're actually thinking like a successful business owner going, okay, where does this feel broken? Is it in the actual thing that I'm offering? Is it my pricing? Do I want to offer it in a different form? Right? Would I rather have, this be a service where I help someone else do it versus me doing it for them? Right? There's things like that you can look into. You have to think through, what is it that feels heavy about your product or service offering? And if you have come to the realization, you're like, you know what? This business, I don't really want to do this. I have passions for other things that I think I could start a business doing. Then I challenge you today to really confront that now, so that you can pivot your business, because some people do pivot their businesses and that's totally okay. Give yourself permission today to pivot your business if it's seriously not working and you've tried everything and what you're offering, you keep trying to force it on people and they don't want it and you just don't feel connected to it. Now, there's a difference between that and actually feeling very connected to what you're offering, and maybe you're not getting sales yet, and there's a whole bunch that can go into that. If you love what you offer, if you know it's valuable, you know it makes a difference, you know people have paid and will pay money for it, you're just maybe not in front of the right people, then that's a totally different conversation. That's not actually about the product or the service. That's about how you're probably marketing it. Okay, the words you're saying, where you're showing up, are you really building an audience? And my Grow Getters know what I'm talking about, because this is what we do in Grow Getters. We make sure that you have a whole system in place that's actually attracting people interested in your stuff, and you have a system for converting them from leads into sales. Okay? But for those of you that have felt like your product or service is heavy, that's what I want you to do, though, is identify, is it really the product or service? Because if it is, look into adjusting it. You can post in our Facebook group, y'all, I need help. I'm not loving this, or this isn't happening. Should I pivot? Should I offer it this way? Maybe there's just a fresh way that you can offer it, okay? Or if it's really about your marketing, that's a whole different conversation. Okay, but I want you to identify that. You need to know that today. If it's felt heavy, let's get to the root, right? And when you go to therapy and stuff, they will do that. Like, let's get to the root of this. Let's not just keep the surface level that, oh, I'm unhappy in my business and my business feels heavy. I mean, that's too general. What is it? Is it a product or a service, or maybe how you're marketing it? Okay, so I want you to think about that today. Okay, number 3. Does it feel heavy because you feel overworked? Like maybe you're running your business right now and you're like, I feel like a chicken with my head cut off. I can't keep up with everything. I'm trying to, post on social. I'm trying to sell my stuff. I'm trying to do shows. I'm trying to manage my website. I'm trying to package everything. I'm trying to ship everything. I'm trying to be customer service, all the things. This is when I would say, if this feels heavy, you need to start outsourcing things. You need to start hiring people. Okay. I got my kids involved when I had my product businesses, and my oldest daughter, when she was younger at the time, I don't even remember what grade she was in, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, she would help package stuff. I would have them organize my inventory, right? Things like that. Unbox stuff for me, count things for me, put shipping labels on packages and put them outside for the UPS man to pick up, right? You can get help like that. You can get help for people to be your customer service or ship your products for you. Y'all know I hired my wonderful sister-in-law. She was a teacher and then she was wanting to stay home while she was raising her kids. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need help with my business. And she was willing to do that. And she worked for me part-time for a long time and it was awesome. And she held some of my product in her garage and shipped it. And she was also customer service for stuff. So it was amazing. So you can hire workers. Right now, I have a VA who I love, and she's helping me, put all my back end stuff in Kajabi, which is a software I use. And she'll, set up all the email reminders. I tell her what to say and stuff because it's my wording that I want, but she's doing all the back end like logistics, like setting it up. And I'll be like, okay, send an email reminder for this day at this time, email reminder for this day at this time to this group, to the Just Getting Started group or the Level Up group or the Grow Getters group, right? And so she does all that. She'll upload my podcast episodes. I give her the text for the blog page on my website and the information in my podcast host software. So I'm outsourcing that, right? I've had a podcast editor this whole time since day one. I tried to do it myself and it was a nightmare. And I realized that felt heavy. So I outsourced it. And my business has felt heavy in terms of just the weekly work over the past probably year. I've been trying to find someone and I've had all kinds of personal stuff going on. So it's just been hard. And finally I got a VA. So I'm super excited about it because it's lifted that off my plate. And now I can focus on my programs and what I'm doing to grow those and just really get smarter about my marketing because now I have more time for that, right? So you can outsource stuff. So you have to think about it right now. For those of you that have your businesses and you're like, I love what I offer. It's amazing. I love what I do. I couldn't be happier, but I feel totally overworked and I feel stressed out. Don't walk around anymore saying my business is stressful and it's heavy. Let's get to the root of the problem, which is you're doing too many things yourself and you need to hire people to help you. Okay. I just don't like it when y'all walk around and make a general statement about your business is hard or it's frustrating, you feel worn out and stressed. When if I start talking to you, you're like, no, I absolutely love it. I'm like, wait, you just told me you just looked miserable when you were just talking about it. And then I realize you say, well, I'm working late hours, I'm doing this or that. And I'm like, oh, well, you just need some hourly help? Do you have a niece or a nephew or a child or a teenager, a babysitter that you can, I had babysitters that I had hired to do stuff for me too, my other businesses. You can do stuff like that. So y'all don't blame it on the business in general because oftentimes it's not the business in general. It is a specific piece of your business that is actually putting the most weight on you, right? It's putting the most weight and that's what needs to be fixed, okay? It's like me walking around saying, I just don't feel good. I'm not happy. I just don't feel good. Okay. I'm not saying this, by the way. I'm just making this up. I'm just not a happy person and I don't feel good and I'm grumpy walking around. And then when someone would talk to me for 15 minutes, they'd realize, oh, she has back pain or she's tired. She doesn't get enough sleep. Maybe she needs to take some stuff off her plate. Like if you really talk through it, you realize there's actually one thing that's probably causing 80% of the heaviness. It's like the 80-20 rule. Do y'all know that 80-20 rule? It's like usually 80% of your problems are caused by 20% of everything going on. Like it's crazy. Let me give you another example. Your closet, if this is me, 80% of the time I wear 20% of what's in my closet. It's probably 90-10 actually. 90% of the time, I probably wear 10% of what it's in my closet. I'm not even kidding. I wear the same, I have these different color lounge pants. They're what is that brand? Vuore. I love them. And I have 3 different colors. And I wear them almost every day. I'm wearing a pair right now. I wear them all the time. It's why the 90-10 rule. Y'all might have the 90-10 in your business where the 90% of the heaviness is coming from 10% of the stuff going on in your business. So don't blame it on all of that when you could just take 5 minutes here to really work through what is the root of the problem, what is causing it, and how you could fix it. So again, there's a whole bunch of things I could have talked about today, but I'm just talking to you about the major 3 things. Number 1, it's the steps, steps for setting up, starting, figuring out your idea, planning, whatever it is. trying to get all that set up, your website set up, like knowing what to do. People waste a ton of time on this. They get totally wigged out and overwhelmed. Like, how do I get my website up? Or how do I start my email marketing? All this stuff. Realize that that's the whole reason I'm in business, is because I have identified that I know, not because I'm some magician, just because I've dealt with you. I see the points where you're struggling, and I've created programs at those exact points. So if you're trying to figure out your idea, if you're trying to plan, create a business plan, if you are trying to start, if you are trying to learn how to start putting yourself out there and start marketing yourself, that's why I have the programs that I have. And you can see all those below. If you are in one of those stages, check those out, because there's no sense in walking around anymore being stressed, overwhelmed, confused about steps when I have everything laid out for you. You can start working on it today. In most of the programs, Grow Getters may be closed today when you try to get in, because I only open it publicly a few times a year, but you can get on my wait list. Just so you know, I do have secret opens every now and then. So make sure you get on the wait list for that, because you never know when I might have a secret open. Anyways, my point is, that's why I'm in business, because I see, you know what? It's like babies and toddlers. You know all the stuff that, I'm not comparing you to a baby or toddler, so nobody get offended, but I'm just saying, or it's just like puppies or kittens. Like, you know the phases that they're going to go through. You know the phases of infants, and then you know how that you get them through sleeping through the night, and then when you start weaning them off breast milk, or you stop giving them formula and you start giving them bottles and food and all that stuff. I mean, we know it. We know the terrible twos. We know everything that goes on, right? From infant all the way up, right? It's the same. It's the same with business owners, y'all. It's the same stuff. Y'all get stuck in the idea stage. Y'all get stuck when you're planning. You get stuck when you're starting, and you get stuck when you're trying to figure out how the heck to start putting yourself out there and what to say and what to do and all that stuff. So don't say that anymore. You don't have an excuse. I have everything laid out for you, which you can get below. The second one was, really think through if it's your offer that's the problem. And you do need to think hard about this. Is it the product or service that you're offering? Is it the way you're offering it? Is it how you're offering it? Is it who you're offering it to? Do you maybe not love the clients or customers that you're selling to, and you need to change something? Maybe it's your price. Identify that. Maybe you need to pivot your business. I hate to say that, but maybe you do. So identify if it's that. And the third one is to identify, is it because you're stressed out because you're wearing too many hats in your business and you're doing too many things and you've totally wigged yourself out and you're working 80 million hours a day, and that's ridiculous when you could be paying other people to help you who would be glad to be getting work to do this, okay? So think that through today. If things are feeling heavy, maybe it's not one of these three things that I said today, but maybe you will explore it today with yourself and figure out why it's feeling heavy. And if you don't know how to solve it, if you don't know that there's a way out, please post it in our Women Starting Businesses Facebook group, or if you're in my Just Getting Started group or Grow Getters, please post it in there. Y'all, please post it in these groups. That's why they're there. Post it in there so I can help you try to figure out what may be an alternative solution or your options. I think that's the best thing, is you need to know your options so you can make a conscious decision, an intentional decision for your business. Does that make sense? I'm so excited for all of you. I'm so happy for you. I never want you feeling heavy ever with this, with the weight of your business. I want you to feel free and light and exhilarated. I mean, heck, business is going to be hard. I'm not even going to lie. Like, there's some days I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on, but I have to say I smile every day working on my business. I smile every day because I love it. I love what I do. And I want you to love what you do too. And there's going to be struggles, but you have to sit back and go, okay, what's the root of it? What's the root of it? Remember the 80-20 rule, or maybe the 90-10 rule, okay? And identify what it is so that it doesn't feel heavy, you can feel light, and you can actually enjoy this awesome business journey that you're on. Well, that's it. Y'all have a great day. Until next time, bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.